Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. The Last Kingdom is an epic historical drama that started back in 2015. However, after Season 5, fans have been contemplating whether or not they'll get another season. Let's take a look at whether or not there will be a Season 6 of The Last Kingdom. Number 4. Plot of the show.
What is it? Ships. I saw them first from the beach.
What ships?
Unlike many shows, The Last Kingdom is not based on fiction and adopts its plot from the real-life history of Uhtred Bebbanburg. The story takes place in a land where the Danish and Saxons reside and are clearly on each other's wits at all times. Their constant hate for each other comes from their religious differences and their desire to acquire more land and silver. Coming to the main character of the show, Uhtred was in line for the throne and was going to take over his father's throne when he got kidnapped by the Danes. Meanwhile, his uncle Alfred, who has always been after the throne, took over. Uhtred, after being kidnapped by the Danes, was adopted by a Dane family and then grows up as part of their culture. After Uhtred's adopted family also gets killed, he goes to Wessex with Breda, a girl he had fallen in love with while being kidnapped, and meets three people: King Alfred, his previous father figure, and his new best friend. Uhtred joins his uncle's army and fights against the Danes. At this point, Breda decides to leave Uhtred, since fighting against the Danes does not seem to sit well with her. The story continues with the two sides engaging in lengthy battles and consists of multiple love stories.
We'll become one, united under one God.
One king.
Yes, the idea.
Number 3. Ending of Season 5.
They murdered my family, and they must be faced.
If you have seen Season 5 of The Last Kingdom, then here's a quick recap of the ending. But if you haven't seen it yet, then this part of the video might contain some spoilers for you. Season 5 entailed everything that fans were expecting from the show, and the team really delivered this time. In the ending of Season 5, Uhtred finally sets out to reclaim his ancestral land of Bebbanburg, the land that was taken over by his uncle Alfred. Edward forms a group consisting of Uhtred and a few other men, and they set out on the mission of trying to stop the marriage of King Constantine and taking back Bebbanburg. However, soon after, Uhtred and his group get discovered. After not hearing back from Uhtred for a while, Edward assumes that the group had been murdered and decides to take things into his own hands. One of the best battles of the series occurs at this point, after King Edward proceeds to Bebbanburg himself. Edward's army is heavily outnumbered by Constantine's army, and it becomes clear that Edward will lose the battle. However, at this stage, a plot twist occurs, and we see Uhtred and his men arrive at the battle scene. Uhtred reunites with his lost daughter, and the two take their army to the battlefield in an attempt to reclaim the upper hand from the Saxons, and succeed at doing so. Uhtred then finds his cousin in Bebbanburg and kills him, finally reclaiming his ancestral land of Bebbanburg. Well, it seems like things have worked out for Uhtred and the character is finally back in the place where he belonged. But then why do we need a Season 6 of the show?
I will kill you and take every consequence.
Number 2. Possible plotline for Season 6.
War is coming. Danes march in numbers from north to south. When I am gone, my son.
Season 5 had a pretty conclusive ending, and it seemed pretty clear that the show was being wrapped up. With Uhtred finally reclaiming Bebbanburg, it seemed like the show had finally gotten to its endpoint. However, if the team at Netflix does decide to change their decision and make another season, we can definitely expect to see a sneak peek into the lives of the cast members after Uhtred becomes king. Moreover, we will also get to see how Uhtred rules Bebbanburg, and whether or not he does justice to his father's legacy. We can also expect to see an alternative ending to the complicated relationship of Uhtred and Breda and see if the two finally manage to make things work. Regardless of that, we will finally see who Uhtred decides to end up with.
Unrest and disloyalty towards Alfred.
The Kingdom of Wessex will surrender.
Number 1. 7 Kings Must Die.
I've lost my home. I've lost my name.
Even if there is no Season 6, luckily for the fans, there is a movie in the pipelines called The 7 Kings Must Die, which is based solely on Uhtred's character. So even if we don't get to see what Uhtred's character ends up like in the show, we will be able to see his ending in this movie once it's released. The movie will allow fans to say farewell to their favorite characters and take a look inside their lives after Uhtred takes over Bebbanburg.
Why do you choose them?
They are my people.
Well, here's all you needed to know about the fate of The Last Kingdom after the 5th season was aired. Are you a fan of the show? Let us know in the comments whether or not you think there should be a 6th season. Make sure you like and subscribe.